and Pierce.
Good afternoon.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Ned and Pierce show.
On a Saturday that appears to be grey and gloomy, hopefully promising some rain around the district.
Yes, that would be very nice. Since our last show, we've really been getting into the thick of it at school. Plenty of tests and assignments.
Right now, we're in the nervous gap between our two big maths exams.
Yes.
The first one was a simple familiar exam, and it did not feel simple or familiar.
Exactly, yes.
I'm nervous for what that means for the complex unfamiliar.
Yeah, I too did have quite a bit of trouble with those questions in that one. Yeah. No, I went through. I had to teach myself some things over again during the test.
I remember we did that test. We were right next to each other. Like, obviously, we had that gap, so we're not cheating.
Yeah,
it's almost like I could feel you staring at me at certain points.
I did look over
arrogantly.
A couple of times.
As I'm still stuck on the first page.
I wouldn't say arrogantly. I looked over a couple of times to check how my best friend is doing on his test, you know.
He wasn't doing well. I wasn't happy.
Yeah, we haven't had many other developments since our last show. Apart from that, it's been our time's been pretty taken up by
a lot of schoolwork.
By a lot of schoolwork.
On the way up, actually, I was supposed to research this. We did see the walking man.
Yeah, the man walking. I don't know how far he's walking, but it's a very long distance. Very impressive.
Pretty sure he started at Wollongong. So he's doing it for veterans, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So he's carrying two flags. I did happen to see that the first flag had the Anzac.
Yeah, the Lest We Forget on it.
Yeah.
I think the other one was the Australian flag.
Yes.
And yeah, very impressive. He's walked a very long distance so far. You know,
further than we could walk. So.
I know, exactly. I struggle to walk up the pyramids at Girraween, and that's not even that long.
Yeah.
And this man's walked an unbelievable distance.
We drove past him. We wanted to sort of cheer him on, but we weren't sure if that was going to be disrespectful or not. But we're saying it here because we want to say that he has support.
And it's very impressive what he's doing, so good job. Make sure you stay tuned. We've got plenty of good stuff coming up this show.
That's
good
right.
music.
Ned's Odd Occurrence.
Yes.
Ned and Pierce's Odd News.
Yes.
We're going to take a look at your lockpicking skills as well.
Yes.
That's all that more to come. What did Pierce steal from Ned's room?
Another good one.
It's all coming. Rose City FM 89.3. More music variety on the Southern Downs. This is AC/DC. Are you ready? On Rose City FM 89.3. Adele with the brooding song Rolling in the Deep on Rose City FM 89.3. And Ned, we are getting busier at school with all of the...
it's going into year 12, plenty of assignment to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But there's still things we can have fun with.
Exactly. The school has decided it's going to try and host another talent quest. Now, naturally, no one out there is going to know what a talent quest is unless they go to our school, which I doubt anyone here in Warwick does.
I feel like people know what talent quests are.
Well, this is the school talent quest, where they send out a call and we get... they try and get talented kids from our school to come and perform and see how they do.
Yeah, from all around the school districts, the library, the trade people, the nerds.
There's a little entry fee, a 50-cent entry fee. It's a bit of a fundraiser for the student council as well, so that they can put on other things in the future as well. So it benefits everyone. Now, Pierce and I have thought we can have fun with this.
Yeah.
You know, we're not that talented, but... But you don't need to be talented to go up on stage and make a fool out of yourself.
Yeah, which is what everyone wants to see. That's what everyone pays to see. They don't pay to see the talent that the Talent Quest is advertising. They see the people fail.
Although we do have some very talented people in our school. Like, looking back on the last one, we had the guy who solved a Rubik's Cube blindfolded.
Yeah, actually,
I was very impressed. I can't solve a Rubik's Cube with my eyes open.
Let alone, like, one side.
Yeah, I know. That's probably the best I've ever gotten on a Rubik's Cube is the one side.
I know Arwen Keith is a friend of ours who we've had for a segment that we just haven't done in ages.
Ask Arwen. We'll revive the Ask Arwen segment at some point.
She did slam poetry, which is poetry on the spot, I'm pretty sure. It's like you get given a word and then you just make a poem from it or something like that.
We do have some talented people, but me and Pierce are not those. We're going to go up and make a fool out of ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, you've had a great idea of what
you see on the big talent shows, the ones like America's Got Talent, Australia's Got Talent, the artists, they go up there and they draw this picture, and it's really stressful. The music's intense, and then right as it's starting to look a bit crappy, they flip it upside down and throw some dust on it, and it ends up looking really cool.
That's amazing.
And people are like, "What? That's crazy." That's not what I'm going to do.
We're going to flip the script.
Yeah. We're going to get some dirt, throw it at... so we're going to start painting with some glue, right? paint something like a stick figure, and then right at the end we get the dirt, we throw it at the piece of paper, and it reveals a stick figure.
And it's just not impressive at all. We also had the idea of doing... what we wanted to do was also do a performance of Rock Lobster, our famous closing song that we use for every show we've done.
Yeah.
I was thinking of just going up there and dancing for like 3 seconds.
A 4-second dance.
A 4-second dance, make up a 4-second dance routine, going up, performing it, and then just going, thank you. Ending it really abruptly on the end. But we have a little bit more time, I think, to develop some of these ideas.
Yeah, workshop the ideas.
Maybe we'll have a future segment in the future. What happened at Ned and Pierce's Talent Quest?
We could 100% air it. Or whatever.
Probably.
Except the dancing's just music. You can't really hear...
dancing's a very visual thing.
Yeah, you might be able to hear of Ned's clothes rubbing together, but apart from that, I don't think...
we'll see how it goes.
This is Ned and Pierce.
Anderson East with Girlfriend. You're listening to Ned and Pierce on Rose City FM. Make sure to stay tuned, because after Barnes Courtney Fire, we've got Ned and Pierce's odd news from around the globe. Welcome back to another special broadcast of Ned and Pierce's Odd News from around the globe. Tonight, a California woman's house has been trashed by nearly 20 giant condors. Cinder Mickles was shocked to find that 15 to 20 of the rare birds had destroyed decorations, ornaments, and her lawn. And I've got to tell you, Pierce, the bird poop situation must have been a disaster.
A company has announced that it's looking for nap reviewers to come along and take daily naps for 30 days and document the experience. The nap reviewers get paid $1,500 for the 30 days that they're there for. Never before has sleeping on the job been not only acceptable, but the job itself.
Mark Zuckerberg was photographed with a cartoonish amount of sunscreen on his face in a now viral image. Zuckerberg claimed that he was attempting to disguise himself from the paparazzi, but somehow achieved the opposite, sticking out like a sore thumbs up on the beach. Although he was safe from the sun, he was severely burned online.
And that man always looks like an alien. It doesn't matter what he does.
It doesn't matter.
Animal service officers in Iowa were called to an apartment complex after an alligator had been spotted lurking around the premise. Much to their surprise, the officers arrived to find a life-size plush toy replica of the reptile. After tireless wrangling, the alligator was captured and released back into the shelves of the local Walmart's toy section.
And the glorious Josh fight occurred just 2 short weeks ago, with young Josh, Vincent Jr., taking the crown and becoming the one true Josh.
And 19-year-old Madison Cahout, actually I like this one because it reminds me of something we would do. So 19-year-old Madison Cahout knew something was fishy when all of her neighbours appeared to be over the age of 65. After she moved into a flat in Arkansas, the teenager had signed her tenancy agreement before actually viewing the property, and 1 week later all was revealed when she stumbled across a sign that read Senior Citizens Apartments. So she'd gotten herself...
It does sound like a very Ned and Pierce situation to get into. And that's all for tonight's episode of Ned and Pierce's Odd News from around the globe. Make sure to stay tuned here at Rose City FM. We've got plenty of great music and interesting segments to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hottest radio game show. I'm your host, Pierce. Now, my buddy Ned has a very messy room, so I want to know, does he actually have any idea what's in there? Probably not. The rules are simple. I take one item from Ned's room, and with the occasional hint from me, Ned gets 3 guesses to figure out what that item is, and if he doesn't, well, it's mine. So without further ado, it's time to find out what did Pierce steal from Ned's room?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What did Pierce steal from Ned's room?
I'm very excited to find out.
Yes, all right. So I think I'm also going to allow you to ask questions. All right?
Okay.
So I'll go with your first hint. Slightly controversial. This item is slightly controversial.
Slightly controversial. Having this won't get me in trouble, will it?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So it's slightly controversial.
Yeah.
Is it a book at all?
No.
Okay, so I can rule out all the books.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can I have another hint?
You can. So it's made of rubber.
It's made of rubber.
Yeah.
Okay, it's nothing that we will get censored for on radio, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So you can rule out any of those.
Any of those lewd objects in my bedroom. Interesting. Something made of rubber is slightly controversial. Do I get another hint?
You do. This is your last one. So I've got a similar one, and both of these things sort of go hand in hand. Go hand in hand. Something rubber that goes hand in hand. Yep. With something similar that you've got. Yes. And you have no idea? This is a tough one. It does mean I get to keep it. This is a very hard game show you've put together for us, Pierce. Well, it's not really the name of the game, but it's the point of all game shows. There's supposed to be sort of like an element of I don't know, hardness. I guess they're probably the listeners are probably expecting me to make a guess. At least you've got to make a guess. Come on, it all comes down to this. Rubber sign that has a rude word on it. No, you're completely incorrect. And which a really quiet wrong buzzer sound effect. I will now show you the item. It is your Kim Jong-un mask. Damn it. And of course, at my home, I have a Donald Trump mask. I completely forgot that I owned that. Oh my god! I have to take more notice of the things that are in my room. It was at the very bottom of the shelf that you allocated for me to steal. I have to take more notice of the things in my room if I don't want you to keep stealing my stuff. That's right. I don't think this will be like a fortnightly segment, just because like by the end of the year, everything will be gone. I may not have anything left. No, for me to steal. Yeah. So we'll pace it out. But I guess you're losing your Kim Jong-un mask. What a shame. I wonder what I'll steal next time. But until then, this has been What Did Pierce Steal from Ned's room.
This is Ned and Pierce.
That was scary.
Ned's on occurrences from around the world.
I smell a mystery.
It's a mystery.
This week on Ned's Occurrence from around the globe, we discuss the strange disappearance of Erin Valenti.
No, it was going to be a maritime mystery, wasn't it?
I did say I was going to try and have 3 maritime mysteries in a row. Unfortunately, there was a distinct lack of boat-related incidents.
And I think you said, and I quote, "Let's try to make a hat trick."
Yes, not in that exact way or tenor, but we'll go with that. But I have found an interesting mystery, nonetheless. On October 1st, Erin Valenti would fly to Orange County, California to attend a business seminar. She seemed excited for the trip and was set to win an award in roughly 2 weeks for her work on web development. She was a bright and upcoming talent in the web development industry. After several days in Orange County, once the seminar had concluded, Erin flew to Silicon Valley to meet up with some old friends. This is where things would take a turn for the worse. On October 7th, Erin made a series of erratic phone calls to her mother. In the calls, she reportedly said, "It's all a game. It's a thought experiment. We're in the Matrix." Erin also said she would miss her flight and the car she was driving was low on petrol. At midnight, her parents lost connection and were unable to contact her again. This is the last time that Erin was heard from alive, ever again. Now, what's your immediate thoughts on that one, Pierce?
So, you know when you get cooped up and you're binge watching like a particular show or a series or a movie?
Of course.
There's The Matrix is a trilogy, isn't it? I think she just watched them one after the other on the airplane, and then she was like, "Oh crap."
She had an existential crisis.
Yeah, it's like me with the TV show Cobra Kai. I now want to be like a really cool ninja, like the characters in Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid. And she has just I don't know. She's mixed reality with not reality or imagination or whatever you call that. The other word. What's the opposite of reality?
Imagination. I don't know.
Yeah, she's just blended those two, and now she thinks she's in the Matrix, and she's along with Neo and
Morpheus, yeah. Morpheus, yes. However, that is not the end of the mystery. After a Facebook page to recruit people to help find Erin was set up, she was found 5 days later, dead in the back seat of her car, which is parked on a quiet street in a small country town. There were no signs of a struggle, no injuries on her body, and no alcohol, drugs, or poison in her blood.
So she took the red pill.
Maybe. Never thought of it that way. This leaves the question, who killed or what had killed Erin Valenti?
Why hasn't any of the other Neds or Occurrence victims had a Facebook group try to find them?
I don't know. This was a very well-known person. As I said, she was an upcoming star in the web development industry.
Yeah, okay.
It's odd that Erin was found in the back seat of her car, as it's weird for someone to park their car, jump in the back seat, and die, unless someone else was involved. What's even weirder, though, is the reactions of the police. The police seemed incredibly uninterested in the case, only filing a missing persons report 3 days after Erin's disappearance. Are you still laughing at the jump? It's a weird thing, okay, Pierce. You wouldn't, if you were going to disappear, you wouldn't just jump in your back seat and die, would you?
It's just the way you said it.
Back to the story. The police seemed incredibly uninterested in the case, only filing a missing persons report 3 days after Erin's disappearance. Even after this, they didn't even look for her, reporting her disappearance as willful. The only reason Erin was found was because of the said Facebook group, with the police not lifting a finger. Now this begs the case of why wouldn't the police search for her? Was there some backside meddling?
And so they reckon that, the cops or the government may have something to do with it. Where was this again? America?
This was in Silicon Valley, actually. America.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, she had gone to meet some old friends. What's interesting, though, is one of the old friends was this big business guy who had recently been fired from his own company. Don't worry, Pierce. There's no one out there.
Okay.
Who had recently been fired from his own company for, mental issues and, just going kind of crazy.
That's interesting.
And she had met up with him in Silicon Valley.
Maybe you could catch it.
Yeah, maybe she caught crazy and decided that they were all in the Matrix. In the end, it is unclear what happened to Erin Valenti. Maybe she found the Matrix. Maybe she was silenced. Maybe foul play wasn't even involved. For now, we can only speculate. We may never know what happened to Erin Valenti. And unless some new piece of evidence is revealed, we never will.
This is Ned and Pierce.
Rose City FM News.
Hello, I'm Sean Bindley. A leading epidemiologist says he expects coronavirus escapes from hotel quarantine on a monthly basis. James McCall's research team provides modelling on the pandemic to the federal government. He says the risk of an outbreak in Australia is at its highest level since the beginning of the health crisis.
Radio like you've never heard it before.
In fact, this is worse than you've ever heard it before.
This is Ned and Pierce.
Well, that's something very weird, Pierce.
Never seen that one before.
We were looking for something to talk about in this last hour, and something just dropped straight into our laps.
Well, I guess it was a lack of dropping into our laps. The air news.
They say not to bring up mistakes that happen on air, but I think this one's just something that's so interesting and that we've never seen before. That we really have to bring this one up. It seems the air news people just have sent us a 24-second clip.
Is it still 24
Hold
seconds?
We're going to listen to it. Maybe this is some kind of breaking news thing they've never done. I'll just play it through.
We weren't listening. We were watching.
Yeah, we were watching. We were watching a comedy routine from two Australian comedians,
the Umbilical Brothers.
Just to make sure, let's just play this through in its entirety.
Hello, I'm Sean Bindley. A leading epidemiologist says he expects coronavirus escapes from hotel quarantine on a monthly basis. James McCall's research team provides modelling on the pandemic to the federal government. He says the risk of an outbreak in Australia is at its highest level since the beginning of the health crisis.
Sounds a little...
a
little breaking.
Yeah, I know, but they did he went to take a breath at the end, and they kind of sliced him off there. I think somehow the people who send us the news have managed to
stuff it up
have
today.
stuffed it up a little bit, which is interesting. Hopefully, at the end of this hour, we will have the full news for you. Even though we do have no control over that, I'm sure they will have fixed it somehow by then. But until then, the show must go on. Let's continue on with One Direction, What Makes You Beautiful.
That is Make You Mine from Public on Rose City FM 89.3. 20 minutes past 2 o'clock. And Ned, you've been trying to practice your lockpicking skills through those couple of songs. Do you reckon you've improved at all?
I'm going to be honest, since last time we tried this about a month ago.
Yeah.
I don't think I've improved in the slightest.
That's very disappointing, because you haven't practiced at all, have you?
I haven't. Well, I did a little bit.
Yeah.
I tried a little bit, but I didn't I'm yet to unlock this little challenge lock that we've got.
The same padlock that we bought
The same padlock we bought for the last time. So, I mean, we'll try it again. Let's see if, even though it was a little bit of practice, let's see if it has paid off.
Okay. Do you want to discuss the rules? Do you want a minute? A minute would probably be best.
A minute sounds like a reasonable amount of time.
Okay. All right. Well, in 3, 2, 1.
All right. Let's see.
I can't actually see what he's doing.
Putting tension on the little barrel that you need to
put tension on?
Yes. It's precisely right, yes.
Maybe I'm the expert. Okay. Look, I'm not saying that I could do it, but you did buy yourself these utensils in order to learn how to do it, and you really haven't.
Okay, how much time are we on, Pierce?
You've got 30 seconds.
Okay.
It still looks very difficult. I actually will be impressed if you can do this. Alright, there's 15 seconds left. Alright, I've got about 10 seconds. Time. Did you unlock it at all?
No, the lock is still locked.
Do you reckon you'll practice anymore, or have you just thrown this?
These lockpicks cost me $12 on Amazon.
Right, so you're not
I
losing
think
much.
After a month of very little practice and very little progress, it may be time to hang up the picks.
But what happened to being the cool guy who can unlock a door if needs be?
Well, they made it look a lot easier on the YouTube videos.
Well, I guess I don't think you should give it up yet.
I
reckon, we've been trying to, improve our radio content and stuff like that. The people that we talk to, they reckon we've got to think about where we go next with these
Where do we
ideas.
go next?
I reckon.
Practice, training,
and we come back in a month's time, come into Warwick late at night, and we break into someone's house.
I was about to say hijack the Rose City FM studio, and that we will play over the airwaves.
No, I reckon it's more
finally unlocking the lock,
unlocking the door
at midnight.
Yeah, or maybe maybe just break into someone's house. That's more risque, isn't it? This is groundbreaking radio here.
This is Ned and Pierce.
And unfortunately, that brings us to the end of our show. We've looked over some pretty interesting things. Unfortunately, I was unable to make it a hat trick on those 3 boat-related mysteries, but I think we had something interesting nonetheless.
You're also unable to figure out what I've stolen from your room twice in a row now.
Twice in a row.
That leaves you with a total of 2 of your items at home that I own now.
I'll really have to practice for the next one.
You can also, if we're leaving you hungry for our Ned and Pierce content, which is unlikely, but possible, maybe possible. You can find us on our podcast, The Department of Shenanigans and Tomfoolery. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and
pretty much anywhere you can listen to podcasts, really.
I think.
Yeah, the second episode went up roughly 2 weeks ago, and we are hard at work on the third one. More updates in the coming shows. Until then, it seems like Peter is set up in the next room. That's it from us. We'll see you in a fortnight.
Rock, lobster.
Radio like you've never heard it before.
In fact, this is worse than you've ever heard it before.
This is Ned and Pierce.